That night, after my father returned from escorting Baba Oluwo, he summoned my mother and I into his room. His face was heavy with urgency. Baba Oluwo has spoken, he said. To break this bond, we must perform the severing rites, and the price is great. We will be using 7 goats, 7 sheep, 7 cows, 7 gallons of palm oil, 7 guinea fowls, 7 chicken, and most shocking of all, 7 virgins to assist with the sacred sacrifice. To gather all this, my father had to sell 2 of his precious cocoa farms. Some parents refused to let their daughters participate. I do not blame them. They guided their kids like they were gold. But when my father offered some of them money, a few gave in. Others, touched by my plight, volunteered their daughters without hesitation and even prayed for me. When the day of the rite finally arrived, the entire village turned into a festival ground. Drums echoed, people danced. But behind the celebration was deep curiosity and fear. Some came to watch the spectacle, whispering, "She won't survive this." Others, with kind hearts, silently prayed, "May she come back whole." But I wasn't thinking about them. I wasn't thinking about the animals, the chants, or the crowd. I was thinking about freedom, and I was ready to fight for it. As I stood at the village square, I remembered the cold, the darkness, the weight of Sóùn Òkun's words, "You are mine, Adunni." Although I had doubts in my heart, but I was going to stand strong and pull this off. Because I wasn't his, never was, and not anymore. Because on this day, I would walk the sacred path, not alone, but with 7 daughters of the earth. Chosen, pure, brave. We will face the river. We will face the spirit, and I will reclaim my life. They said no one returns from the river of no return, but I had to, not just for myself, but for all the daughters yet to be born. Baba Oluwo stood in the middle of the village and said, "Today, our daughter walks the sacred path, but she shall not walk alone. 7 shall walk beside her, virgins of clean hands, pure hearts, and brave spirits. These daughters shall pray with her, stand with her, intercede for her." Baba Oluwo stood beside me, his staff glowing faintly with white light. My parents were there too. They were silent, prayerful, watchful. The girls sang softly, their voices trembling but strong. And then we began the sacred journey. The forest path was narrow and dark, yet none of us turned back. We held hands. We moved as one. There were whispers in the tree. Shadows danced within our sight. At one point, we heard footsteps that didn't belong to us. Heavy, echoing. The youngest girl, Ashake, stumbled. I saw fear in her eyes. "Do not be afraid," I said, steadying her. We walk with truth. We walk with light. We stopped once to pray beneath an ancient Iroko tree, laying kola nut at its roots. A wind passed through the leaves like a sigh. It felt like a blessing. By the time we reached the river, dawn was near. The sky had begun to lighten, painting the clouds in hues of gold and purple. The air buzzed with unseen energy. I stood at the edge of the river. My bare foot sank into the wet earth. The moon hung low, casting silver light across the rippling water. The air was thick with mystery and something ancient stirring beneath the surface. Behind me, 7 virgin girls stood in white wrappers, beads around their neck, and cowries in their hair. Each held a calabash filled with offerings, honey, salt, herbs, feathers, and sacred chalk. Together, we will go before Olodumare to ask for mercy, for justice, and for my freedom. They come from different families. They all have different stories. But today, they were my sisters. I didn't know all their names, but I knew their hearts. It was strong, steady, and willing. Baba Oluwo drew sacred symbols into the earth with chalk. He lit a fire of herbs and sprinkled crushed snail shells into the flame. Smoke rose like mist, and then he began to chant.
Ìbà rẹ Olódùmarè, ìbà Akọ́dá, ìbà Ṣẹ̀dá, King of all worlds, Creator of heaven and earth. Father, you will hear the cries of your children and grant divine authority. Speak through the sacred river and answer her plea. place your hand of peace upon your daughter Adunni. Let what has been broken be restored. Let what is lost be found. Let our soul rise with freedom and light. Spirits of the ancient lands, Onile Aye, we greet you with humility. We beg for your mercy. Your child kneels at your feet. Do not close the heart against her. Open the path. Let no misfortune find her. Let no sorrow block our destiny. We are your children. Accept us. Let the winds become. Let the waters comfort us. Let peace flow like the river before us. Èṣù alágbára, keeper of crossroads, do not block our way. Ogun, warrior of iron, come gently and clear our path. Ọ̀ṣun, mother of sweet waters, bless this river, make it pure. Ṣàngó, weather of thunder, calm the heavens and silence the storm. All divine beings, all orishas present and watching, let there be peace today. Let there be stillness and mercy. And to you, Sóùn Òkun, child of the ocean depth, spirit of the sacred waters, you who dwell in mystery and power. One does not strike the one who needs. One does not cause the heart that comes in peace. Today, we do not come with defiance. We come with offering. We come with humility. We ask you, Sóùn Òkun, soften your heart. Accept what Adunni have brought. Eat and be appeased. Drink and be calmed. Let Adunni go. Let her live. Let her grow. Let her prosper among the living. She is beloved to you. We know. But even love must give way to destiny. Show her kindness. Let her shine among her peers. Sóùn Òkun, son of the ocean, spirit of the deep, accept our plea. We know what you eat, and we have brought it. We know what you drink, and we have brought it. Accept our sacrifice. Be at peace. Be still. A mother does not cast their child into the sea. Release Adunni. Release her in peace. Bless her in freedom. Bless her in health. Bless her with good health. Thank you, Olódùmarè. Thank you, Ori. Thank you, Mother Earth. It is done. And so shall it be. Àmín àṣẹ.
We all shouted Ashe. Baba Oluwo turned back and looked at me and the other girls. Daughters, he said, call upon Olódùmarè. Speak the truth of your heart. One by one, the girls stepped forward, chanting, dancing and praying. The calabash were emptied into the river. The water shimmered, glowing softly with each offering. Then I stepped into the water. It was cold, so cold, but I was not alone. The girls stood at the shore, singing in unison. Their voices became a bridge between the two words. The water stirred, the river gentle, and then a figure began to rise from the depths, tall, shadowed, majestic. His presence turned the air heavy. It was Sóùn Òkun. But this time, he did not come in anger. He did not roar. He stood still, watching me. His glowing eyes flickered with something I had never seen before. Sorrow, but definitely not anger. You have returned, he said, his voice like crashing waves. I have come to end what should never have begun, I replied. But you were promised to me. You bear my mark. I bear my own name, I said. I come not with weapons, but with the truth. I come with the daughters of the hurt and the breath of Olódùmarè. He looked at the 7 girls. He looked at me, and then he wept. The river trembled, not with rage, but with release. The girls began to sing again, louder, stronger. They sang the praises of Sóùn Òkun, their feet stomping in rhythm as Baba Oluwo raised his staff. We offer peace, I said. Take the offering. Let the past be buried. Let the bond be broken. Sóùn Òkun stepped back. his form began to dissolve, not into rage, but into light. He raised one hand and he said, I bless your name, Adunni. Go and live. Go and prosper. And with that, he disappeared. The river fell still as we walked back through the forest. The sun behind us, bathed in the path in gold. Birds sang, and the leaves rustled with joy. I was at peace. My soul, my spirit, and my body bustling with happiness. At last, I could breathe. My future certain. I will be a great achiever, I said to myself. The villagers had already gathered at the entrance to welcome us, singing and dancing. My mother, Yamoriamo, wept tears of joy. My father knelt and thanked the heavens. My grandmother, Mama Lake, was too shy to come out, and she remained in her heart. She never left it again until her death. I was free, not just from Sóùn Òkun, but from fear, from silence, and from shame. I was freed with a gift. I could hear people's inner thoughts, and my words carried power. Whatever I spoke came to pass. Most importantly, I became a healer, helping people in our village and beyond. They thought I would be shamed, but instead I was blessed. Adunni became a household name. Year passed. I traveled far and beyond. I studied in lands across the sea. I wore my culture with pride. I returned not just as Adunni, but as Dr. Adunni Omishina Omobabagbolahan, daughter of the soil, daughter of the ocean, daughter of the deep sea, scholar of the world. I built a center in the village for every child, boys and girls, for their dreams, for their power. And every year, on the night of the silver moon, we would go to the river, we sing, we pray, we remember, and we give thanks. Because the river took, but the river also gave back. The end.